Hey, so I'm low-key kind of um not motivated right now to make the content that I know um that I really want to make. So I'm making content that's technically on my mind right now so I can kind of help transition myself over to the editing to the editing platform of CapCut, because I remember I spent hours upon hours of having to edit and having to you know, just have this amount of frustration making and editing to produce the videos, which essentially makes it less fun. So I'm trying to just be more easier and calmer on myself to transition over there. If you're just popping into this video and you're going to see the title, you're going to see this, you're going to see that, I just wanted to just say that peace of mind as a small creator about my grievances. So I just previously made a video, my last video, about basically giving advice to small creators on how when they ask big creators for advice, and involving how essentially whether or not they subconsciously or consciously gatekeep, they're essentially doing that. So I remembered how everyone is talking about this streamer university off of this person named Kai or something. I don't know him. I don't know the streamer world like that. I only know the big name people, which is like what's his name? What's his name? The one that was autistic, that everyone said he was autistic and he's really hot. Like whoever starts with an H. I, for the life of me, I can't even remember this guy's name, but he's like all over like Twitter. What's it? He does the news. I don't know his name. Whatever his name is, I've seen him before. I recognize his face. If you know who it is, it's him. Most likely, if you know who I'm talking about, it's him. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about Kai in the sense of on here on TikTok specifically, because I see a lot of people are making videos about that, and I feel like people are just going, like, it's going over their head on how literally him and TikTok was here on TikTok, and how it was completely free, accidentally. Mind you, this was an accidental thing. It was an accidental thing that got so big that so many professional people came on here and started giving advice for free. Starting classes. They didn't get paid for anything, nothing. They decided to give this stuff for free access. And it just put in perspective of so many different things involving how we can talk about in the history aspect how college used to be free and then suddenly it wasn't free no more. And then we can sit here talk about how so much stuff is just classism and pull yourself up by the bootstraps mentality in this country, and it's ridiculous how essentially you have to not have to get so big to where you don't need help, and then people are like, oh yeah, let me help you. When someone doesn't need help, you're then willing to help them. Makes no sense to me, for the life of me. But going back to the point, because I'm veering off a little bit, but as in with my brain, they're all connected anyways, and if you have the same brain as me, you understand that it's all connected. But for viewers who do not have brains like me, back to the subject at hand. For the streamer TikTok and Kai, he has had a little bit of controversy involving his viewpoints on the US of A people, specifically people who look like me. And people say they don't like him because he feels like we have no culture and blah 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 and blah blah that. And he started this contest for millions or hundreds or thousands of people to apply to get into this school. Like this is Harvard University. Like we it's a whole competition to get in. I shouldn't say it's a competition, but to get into this, and people were saying, oh, he only invited big creators or people who were his friends. And I was like, and now you got people sitting here saying that are, to me, that are relatively big creators or medium-sized creators who are sitting here saying, oh, I don't really feel motivated. I don't feel like creating stuff here on TikTok because of whatever reasons. you know, and there are legitimate reasons, there are valid reasons for sure, involving the controversies and the lack of views that don't match the amount of followers and all that stuff. And for me, it's just, it's literally the end. We're about to start the summer, and it was a whole spring semester, and I had 2 classes that I was on here. I did ASL for a class. I did that in real university and college. I did that in real university college, and I, you know, forgot about it because it was a couple of years ago. And I was reintroduced to that, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I need to be more engaged with that. I need to engage more with the deaf community. I need to do all that. Great, fabulous. And this opened my eyes to a different perspective involving the deaf community, involving people of color, that side, and how it differs, and how, just like with all languages, they have different accents. They have different accents, the way they speak, especially in the US of A. You gotta have a Boston accent, you can have a Cajun accent, you can have a what is it, a Valley, whatever accent on the West Coast. You could have, what else, a Southern accent, and all of this is English, but it's all spoken and interpreted so differently that it's like, what is English in the sense. And I thought it was so interesting understanding that perspective also goes to the deaf community. But again, I feel like I'm kind of veering off and kind of not veering off. If you're yapping with me and you're understanding, I'm probably info dumping a lot to you. I love doing that. But back to Kai again. Involving with that, it is still, again, with the whole Hillman TikTok. Just to rehash what I just said, I took ASL, and I also took screenwriting. And there was so many things that essentially Black women, most of the teachers were Black women, and they gave all this free information. And now it's like a creator fund that was created by a person who is not in the US and is a man, made this entire competition. And I guess in the sense of, from the way people are portraying, he made a lot of people have false hope. And I don't like that. I just don't like that. And I think it's really sucky that we on this, the same time as this is ending, that is just beginning. And it was like, how do we take 1 step forward and then 2 step backs when it came to that? And I was just like, it's yeah. But that was my yap sets. I think I'm finally ready to. We're at the 15 mark, so I'm gonna give myself 45 minutes to. This was my 15-minute break to start working and transitioning over to making my video. Oh yeah, here's a little promo for me. If you sticked around, I am making a video I'm currently editing for free stuff that I have found. The series is called Things I Found, or Find. The Things I Find. The Things I Find. The Things I Find is the series name. If you can't tell, I'm still noodling over and trying to have it cement in my head what the actual series is called. It's going to be the first episode. I found 4 things. The 4 things is how it's titled: free healthcare, free therapy, free government money, and free. What was the last one? Yikes. If I remember it, I'm going to put it in edit because I completely forgot. Thanks.